It is.
Alright, hello everybody.
Did I just get my ass ripping?
Okay, we'll skip. We'll start over. Hello, this is your host, Chris Sanchez, and
young Jamie. Just kidding. It's Dalton Beck, the editor.
my partner in crime.
Hell yeah.
And this is our first podcast.
Welcome.
There will be a lot of cringe, a lot of silences.
It's going to be pretty awkward, probably. Because, it's the first one, but we'll see how it goes,
Okay.
Fuck it.
How are we going to do this? Let me pull up my notes.
It might also be, NSFW. We may talk about some controversial topics. So, just keep that in mind. Don't play it out loud at work.
Yeah, it's probably the best
Coworkers
idea.
might hear some dick jokes or something stupid.
Alright. So what do we achieve by doing this podcast? It's really just out of enjoyment. And I don't know.
Yeah, it's just something we've always wanted to do. Been fans of Joe Rogan pretty much since the start. Actually, back when he was just doing it with him and Brian Redband.
Yeah, to be honest, I've always grew inspiration from podcasting and just enjoyed it. And I also enjoyed having conversations with strangers and people without sounding like, like a
Dude,
sociopath.
I got it.
What?
The podcast name.
What?
Beers with Bros.
Yeah, but then I feel like we'll turn into like alcoholics. And then
Every podcast we just drink.
Yeah, I think. And then the downfall. Nah.
Alcohol addiction with bros.
No, I was thinking today at work, I was like, shit, we're all going to die from the coronavirus anyway, so.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, that's a topic for later on, though.
Might as well make.
We're doing introductions.
Oh, we're doing introductions. I work in a warehouse and I throw boxes, and it's pretty terrible. If I'm being quite honest, it's soul crushing, some might say, but
that's work for you.
yeah, it's work for you. That's why
blue collar work at least.
That's why we're doing podcasts. Not even blue collar work. It's like slavery.
White collar workers just get to like.
Dude, I get to work, slave.
Yeah, and then they go sniff coke
I'd
off
rather
some
be a white collar
titties
worker
or something.
Yeah, for me it's more like, why aren't you working fast enough? Like the other day, my boss was telling us if we have heavy stuff, and we work by production, so like I have to get 45 points an hour. And,
oh yeah, that shit's gay.
And points is like something that weighs like 200 pounds is 1 point, and something that weighs like 1 pound is 1 point. So my boss the other day was like, "Well, if you get something heavy, just go faster." And I'm like, "Well, no shit. That's like common sense."
Mm-hmm.
And there's this dude at my job. There's a lot of weird people at my job. Like, there's this one dude. Like, he'll talk to me, and then like, I'll conversate with him, and then like he won't conversate back, but he'll initiate the conversation. Like, he'll be like, "You weekend people don't be working. All you weekend people do is steal. Y'all stealing." And I'll be like, "You talking to me?" And he'll be, "Ah," and I'll drive away, and he'll keep talking. I'm like, "Who the fuck?"
Fucking follow you.
I go. Who? Not even follow me. Just because I drive machinery, so he'll continue the conversation as if like he's still communicating to me, and like it's like I'll drive away, and I'll be like, I'm like, who the fuck is he talking to? Is he talking to me? And now I just joke with him. I'm like, "Hey, are you talking to yourself again?" Because like at this point, it's like, what do I even say?
Yeah, for real. It's like an everyday occurrence.
Mm-hmm. Tell him about your one coworker, about how he said he married like the 13-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Close to the mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can hear me from here. I don't want to be like right up in it, because then it's just gonna be like ear rape. I feel like, but
I get you.
Yeah, so that's kind of his backstory, I guess, where he works and stuff. Well, I guess not complete backstory, but where we're at right now in life. For me, I work in roofing, a small family-owned roofing company. Yeah, it only has like 6 employees, so nothing like that goes on. We all get along pretty nice.
Yeah.
Nobody's really busting anybody's balls. I mean, we talk shit. It's just construction, But it's all friendly. It's all fun and games, Nobody takes it too personal, You gotta have thick skin to survive, I feel like. If you're too sensitive, you're not gonna make it.
Tell him a story about the 13.
Yeah, my bad. I'm getting carried away. Anyway, so yeah, one of my coworkers is Guy in his 60s, still working on a roofing. Bless his soul, man. It's a rough life. He always tells me. My bad. He was telling me the story about how he met his wife, and he's this backwoods redneck motherfucker. Let me tell you something. He met his wife in mountain country in Tennessee.
We should. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. We should do it like talking to each other, because that's what they do.
Oh, that's true.
Because I don't want it to be like we're talking to them. I mean, I guess there's no issue talking to them, but I mean, like, you know.
I get you. We'll edit that part.
Okay.
Dude, this is gonna take a long time to edit.
That's fine.
Fucking whole new respect for Jamie, dude.
No, it takes a lot of work. That's what I'm saying.
Dedication, dude.
I always see Joe Rogan saying like, "Get closer to the mic," something like that.
Let me get it about a fist from your face. But oh yeah. What was I saying?
That you have this one coworker.
Oh yeah, so I got this one coworker, right? Guy in his 60s. I mean, we already talked about that. Anyway, he met his wife when she was like 13 in like this fucking backwoods ass mountain country area in Tennessee, and she took him out to meet her family, right? And when he first met her uncle, he was fucking stuck up in a tree drinking rubbing alcohol, and he was blind, so I don't know how the fuck he got up there in the first place. Probably went blind from drinking the fucking rubbing alcohol. I feel like that would have some weird effects on people.
That's some backcountry shit.
Yeah, just straight drinking rubbing alcohol. No chaser or anything. It's just rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he met his wife when she was like 13. I think he was 15. But there were other people in this area, because it was just a bunch of, like I said, backwoods people living in trailers and tents and shit out in the fucking mountains somewhere off the grid. And it was a crazy area, man. Like, there's 80-year-old dudes marrying like 11-year-olds and just banging them out, and it's pretty twisted. But
and tell him what he said to you about how my daddy.
Wait, what?
How you said like his daddy was like, my daddy married a 13-year-old.
No, like, he met his wife when he was 15 and she was 13.
Oh.
But her dad married, like, after her mom, obviously. Like, she wasn't inbred or anything. His wife wasn't inbred or fucked up like that. She was just a normal person. So I'm guessing after his wife died or something, or left that godforsaken place, he just took it up with some child and started banging her. So yeah.
that story became from funny to depressing.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
I told you, NSFW, guys.
Okay.
It's getting real in here. There's places like that exist. Don't go out in the fucking country. It's terrible.
I think in my job, the only benefit of working in a shitty job is that you meet a lot of characters and you meet a lot of people who are interesting. In my opinion, I've worked with a lot of like people, and I feel like from the people I've worked with, I've learned a lot. And I think recently I met this guy at my job, and he hates me, but he won't. He tells people, I don't hate Chris, or I don't hate Chris, I just hate his personality, which is pretty much hating me.
Yeah, basically.
And this dude, and he's about like 35, and he lives with his mom, and he always like says when we're leaving, like he always tells me or our coworkers that, oh, my mom made spaghetti, or etc. Like, he's always talking about how, you know, about how he's better than me, and his dad used to be in the FBI and all this other stuff, and
that's just shit he's got to tell himself.
Yeah, I know. He
make himself feel better, because his life's obviously not very eventful or successful, dude.
Yeah, and the other day he was like telling me and my coworker how he was with a midget, and he was like, I told you this, yeah. He was like, what did he say? I don't even remember. He was like, he's like, I was with a midget one time,
yeah,
and I was thinking, and man, I would put her in all these crazy positions, and I thought about buying her a baby holster, and I go, well, it sounds like you have a baby fetish.
Sounds like you're a pedophile.
Yeah, and he goes, Chris, you made it weird. I go, dude, you bringing that up made it weird.
Yeah, for real. I wouldn't want to go into that guy's fucking room, dude.
Probably just like crusty blankets and like the Xbox always on.
Xbox.
And like pizza. Mom, get out!
Mom, get out.
But
yeah, fuck that guy.
But yeah, he's leaving next week. I'm sadly gonna miss him. He told my coworker the other day, he's like, don't end up like Chris. Which is funny because my coworker's older than me. So it's like, what does that even mean? Does that mean he's gonna kill me? I don't know.
Like
he's like, don't end up like Chris.
In the grave.
Yeah. What else?
I feel like this isn't going well so far, man.
What do you mean?
This is gonna get taken down.
Nah.
So far we've talked about pedophiles we know twice.
I feel like there's worse on YouTube. Oh, talking about YouTube. Man, there's all these channels on YouTube that are like just ripping off people's viral videos. I'm not gonna get in specifics about channels, but it's just
back in the day.
Nah, that was like some old shit.
Yeah.
But it's more like videos just like going like I don't want people know what videos I'm talking about, but it's like I guess I already said it. Fuck. But like, all right, edit that part out. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, it's dumb because it's like you're just ripping off other people's videos and making money off those videos.
Yeah, dude. Day one making YouTube.
Yeah, really. If you want to make a really easy YouTube account, just rip off other people's videos. And I guess I don't know how people. I guess I understand how they live with themselves. They fucking make money from doing that shit. They're probably like, "Where's another check at?" But in reality, in my opinion, I could never make money that way because it feels like you're objectifying people's videos, I guess. Is that the right word? I don't know.
You're stealing content.
You're stealing content without their consent, but they're viral videos, so in hind, I mean, those people can sue, right? I don't even know how those videos even work.
I think they can. Yeah, I'm not really too educated on it either. But.
Or like top 10 videos, like all you gotta do is read like fucking Wikipedia. I forgot which YouTuber it was, but like he literally, someone like in the comments was like, dude, you just literally read the fucking creepypasta from Wikipedia. Or from what's that? What's like the creepy wiki or whatever?
I don't know. I think it's just called creepypasta.
Oh yeah, I think it was called creepypasta. The dude's like literally just reading the whole fucking thing.
I believe it.
And dude gets like down.
Yeah, he does it in that stupid ass voice. I think I know who you're talking about. The guy that's like, and then, you know, like, he like really exaggerates every word. He puts a lot of emphasis.
Bro,
on the end of it.
One time I was high with my, or shit, I can't say his name, but I was high with my friend, and we were watching a video, and dude, I couldn't stop laughing because his voice.
And then
the
stalker entered the room.
Dude might have like asthma because like he breathes like within every fucking word. He's like,
I think he does that to like try to add a certain level of depth to his
like
commentary. It's like it's supposed to be like creepy, I guess.
There's like that 10-year-old like under the covers.
Yeah, scary.
It's that or like cringe like YouTube gaming commentators. Like what's that? I guess we can't say their names or we can't talk about them.
We already talked about them. Everybody's gonna know who I was talking about.
Yeah, we're all gonna know.
The creepypasta guy.
No, there's that other guy. I guess we'll just edit this part out.
I mean, I don't even remember their names.
The Irish guy, or like, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
The Irish dude who's always like, "Hey, mateys," and he's like fucking like cringe. He's just cringe, bro.
I don't know.
I'll edit that part out. But
Conor McGregor's disappointed.
No, he's just cringe. He's like, oh man, I would show you now, but I don't have time.
Well, it'd be copyright.
Probably.
Fucking up our first video, man.
Not bad.
I'm just kidding.
Just edit the part out. God damn, it's fucking hot in here.
Yeah, for real.
You need a fan.
Should have bought that AC, man.
Should have.
At Best Buy. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, reminds me of fuck ton of editing.
I had to take a leak, to be honest.
To be honest, fuck man. You wanna pause it?
We can edit that part out.
You wanna pause it?
Sure. No, not pause. Oh shit! Yeah, there it goes. Okay, bet.
I'm gonna just press play again.
Oh, okay. Oh no, you pressed pause. You pressed pause. Okay.
No, I pressed play that time.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, my bad, guys. Piss break. We'll be right back.
Always pissing. What am I doing? No. I don't even know how
Oh,
you
no,
get
don't
back.
press pause. Yeah, you just
How do you
start
do it?
recording again.
I know, that's what I can't. Okay, we'll edit that. Alright. Hello, everybody. This is Chris Sanchez. This is our second take on our podcast. Hopefully, it's not shit.
Yeah, I just fucked it up already. First thing.
Alright, my name's Chris Sanchez, and we're doing this podcast out of pure enjoyment. Just
Hold
for
up,
fun.
hold up. You gotta say, this is Chris Sanchez and my partner.
This is Chris Sanchez and my partner Dalton Baker.
No, let me say it.
Okay, this.
God damn, we're already fucking this up.
Alright, this is Chris Sanchez, and we're on our second beer, and this is my partner in crime.
Second take. Dalton Baker.
A little late, but it's okay. Alright. I come from... Word up. And Alberto. And I come from a family that... No, I don't want to get too personal, do I?
Probably not on the first podcast. Save it for later on.
Okay. Well...
We gotta ease into it. Start off with lighthearted shit.
Should we do introduction over again, or no?
No, we got that in the first video. Fuck it.
Okay.
Because we can always, like, merge them together.
It's gonna sound all distorted.
I guess maybe... Oh, yeah, I need to sit closer.
Okay, and I make this podcast out of pure enjoyment because I see how repetitive people's lives are nowadays, and I work in some jobs where I feel like people don't expect to become anything else.
Also, we like Joe Rogan.
That's a plus. But I also enjoy just having conversations with people and getting to know people. Even people I don't like, I get to know them. I never hate anybody because I feel like life's too short and you should never hate anybody.
Big facts. It affects you more than it affects them.
Yeah, exactly. And if you and I always think love and hate's the same coin. And if you hate somebody, you care about them, and if you love somebody, you care about them, etc. So if I dislike somebody, they just become an object to me, or I just ignore them. I just try to stay away from them. Or if they're not positive energy and they're not helping me grow as a person, then why am I gonna bother?
Yeah, dude, it's a good way to be.
We really just made this podcast out of pure enjoyment. This is the first podcast, so it's probably not going to be that great, but it's okay.
Just kind of doing it for the fuck of it, basically. Just something we want to do, a little passion project, basically.
Oh, yeah. And, so I met Dalton Baker in middle school after I came from charter school, and we became best friends ever since. And so there was this guy in middle school where, like, he was really annoying, and one time we were watching Odysseus, and he was like, he saw the Cyclops, and he was like, in the middle of class watching, what was it, Odysseus, the movie, right? And he was like,
Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey, that's what it was called.
I think, right?
No, it's called Odysseus, right?
I think it's called Odyssey, the one with the Cyclops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Odyssey.
Okay, it's Odyssey.
I don't know what Odysseus is, a nerd.
And there was this kid in there, and really loudly, and this is like non-ironically, this is like serious. He goes, "Man, I knocked that boy out." And then I think back then I was very shy and very quiet, and I wanted to be friends with this guy. Or I didn't want him to bully me. Right? No, that was we're not supposed to say names, bro.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, there was this guy, and he's probably dead now because he was very obese. And
the coronavirus got him already.
No, we'll probably just beat that. But I was gonna say and he was very obese. And one morning, I try to do this thing with people who used to intimidate me back when I was younger. I try to befriend them because I don't want them to bother me, really. So one morning, I gave him like my strawberry milk, and I wanted to be like, "Hey man, here's my strawberry milk," because I know he likes strawberry milk. And he goes, "I want that!" And he just slammed it on the floor, and it fucking went everywhere. And he just kept walking in class. I was like, okay. But,
man, fuck that guy.
Nah, he's probably, like I said, like, I don't want to say that. I don't wish ill will on anybody, but he's probably not in the best health now.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kids, too.
I mean, that dude looked like, I can't even explain it. It looked like his mom when he got home. But, more like his mom. He would get home from school, and then his mom would make food, and then he would be like, "All right, but what are you eating though?" He's that kind of kid. Like, he would eat the whole plate. I hear my cat walked in.
What's up, little cat?
Here, let him inside.
You just want to go outside, huh?
He wants to go inside.
Yeah. Oh, Damn, it got dark quick. What the fuck?
Yeah. Not really.
Go on, get.
Okay.
Man, you know me. Shut up.
That's my chihuahua.
Fiji. We're not supposed to say names.
No, Fiji's okay. She's allowed. You can allow say her name. Okay, so where do we go from here?
Let's look at
My notes? I don't really have that many notes.
let's
I think really I did this out of the fact that, I mean, in reality, I don't think the coronavirus is gonna ever like kill us. But I don't. At the same time, I feel like it's blown out of proportion. But at the same time, it's like, shit. Are we actually gonna die?
Probably not.
Probably not. But
Really, it's older people that we need to be worried about, like our family members.
just die already, Grandpa. Give me that will.
Yeah, I better be in it. Else.
I'm gonna punch you.
Didn't I tell you I train MMA?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we do train, by the way.
We do train, by the way. We just started, but we're very passionate about it.
Yeah, I mean, not really just started. We've been at it almost a year. You know, working on like 8 months at the end of March.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like I met somebody who wants to grow not homo, grow with me as a person, and
Common interests.
Common interest, exactly. And I feel like podcasting or just talking to my friend or just going to train together, we enjoy each other's company, and we feel like as if like, you know, why not? Like, why are we gonna let life limit us, and why are we gonna follow the?
Yeah, we're go-getters.
Yeah, we should be. Like,
we see something we want, and we go.
Why should life always be about, like, okay, I gotta go to the shitty job, I gotta do this. I mean, sure, you gotta go. Everybody's gotta work a shitty job at some point. If you live in a normal, like, I don't want to say normal because everybody's
perception, like Kylie Jenner, you know, born with billions.
Yeah, everybody's perception of normal is different, and I feel like my perception of normal would be like, you're born to a family, you have to work. If you work, you make money, and that money's for yourself, and it's for you to buy stuff. And I feel like work isn't unfortunate. We all have to do it. I feel bad when I see people who are elderly at my job working, because it makes me feel like, man, like, this is it. Like,
we all gotta start somewhere. You don't. But the thing about the older people that are working at your job is they're in that situation. Like, you have to look at what's led them to that situation. Like, it's an entry level job, right? You know, you don't need a college degree or anything to get it. So it's made for like younger people.
Yeah.
I feel like older people that are there, it's like, if you're still there by the time you're in your 60s, you know, there's not really an excuse. Like, you didn't try to move higher up or anything. I think because you would have. I feel like you at least should have gotten promoted at your job by that point. Like, you shouldn't be just working, you know, the piss on part of academy. You should be like a manager or something.
Well, I think that is the case for some people. I think it's all about the mindset you have in life, because in some people's mindset, they just work check to check to check to check to check, and they work bills to bills to bills, and they overburden themselves in life, and they feel like as if they have to always like they come from that generation where it's just work. Don't achieve your dream. Don't achieve your dreams. Just keep working at it, because
like Auschwitz, work will set you free.
No, but it's true. Like, that's really the mentality people live in the past generation. They live in the mentality where they have to keep working, and they have to constantly feel like as if like, I think they know, like my grandparents, I love them and I care about them, and they're the ones who raised me, but they work constantly, and they're at this point where they worked for me to be successful. They worked for me. They worked for their themselves and for me. They work like your parents. Like, they work because they care about their life, and they want you, and they care about you. If they didn't care about you, then they would mistreat you.
Yeah.
Like this is
you gotta work to survive at the end of the day. Everybody's in the same boat, you know. Everybody's got to do it. Yeah. And, you know, don't sweat it about working at a shitty job, because everybody's got to start somewhere, you know. Yeah, and it's for you. Better than not working anywhere.
It's for you to create better opportunities for yourself. That's what I feel like the past generation did. They created better. Well, my family came from Mexico, and they came to America for better opportunities. My grandparents lived this mentality where they feel like work is that all there is to life is work and free time. I feel like there should be a combination of both, and you should enjoy your free time.
Yeah, of course. It should be for your passions. Like what we do, we work, but we're passionate about MMA, so we still go to the gym after work and shit.
That's true.
We push ourselves. I feel like if you have the right mindset and you're willing to push yourself, you can achieve what you want. Like, you work hard during the day, and then you can do what you want at night. Like, we work hard during the day, and then we hit the gym, and we're training, because we're trying to achieve something with that. We're trying to go somewhere with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
y'all,
that's our goal,
ultimately.
ultimately.
Like Yoel Romero said, like, what did he say? He was like, belief. Just believe.
Yeah.
And you can do it. Or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Like, just believe and you can do it. And that really is a perception of mine. Like, our dreams is that we want to be fighters. Sure, we might not be big time UFC fighters one day, and that's fine with me. If we are, cool. If we aren't, that's fine with me too. But as long as that we're perceiving our dream, we're working constantly to a goal, not even to a goal, just out of pure enjoyment, then that's all that matters. All life is about enjoyment. If you enjoy doing something, you should do it. Why? Like, I enjoy talking to others. I enjoy conversations with my friend. I want to broadcast conversations with my friend. I enjoy talking to others, learning how people's mentalities work, understanding how other people think is a better way to understand yourself. Yeah. And I feel as if, like, it's just fun. I like it. I like talking to people. I like knowing people. People make me laugh. I make material out of it. People live in this mentality where they live like nowadays, like on social media. If you really think about it, social media has only been around for 10 years. Like real social media. Like now there's a trend. Like I was talking to my friend Dalton about it earlier, and I'm
the co-host of the podcast.
And it's about, we live in this mentality where like it's hate culture. We always have to hate stuff. We have to hate like something somebody said like 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Why
cancel culture, dude.
Like cancel culture? That's what he said it was called. And I feel like that's dumb. Like, why should we live like that? It should always be like accepting. Like, sure, someone says like, think about saying something that's so hurtful, and saying about like, oh, we should cancel this person's livelihood. It's like, that person said that so long ago. Like I get like. You're
like, forgive and forget. You know, you gotta get over it at some point.
Yeah, forgive and forget. And you're only saying that because in reality you work a shitty job.
Also, you know, they think it makes them look good.
Yeah, not even that. It's like
they want to take the moral.
It makes them. It's not that it makes them look good. It makes them feel better about themselves. That's really what it is.
Because they look at it and they're like, "Oh well, I never said that."
Exactly.
Which in reality they probably did as a kid. They just don't remember it.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody's made stupid little racist jokes or little sexist jokes or little homophobic jokes. You know, whenever they're kids, it's like whenever you're a shitty little middle schooler, that's what you do. You know, you're a little asshole.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, pretending like that era of your life didn't exist and there was never a point of learning and growing for you. It's really stupid. Is what it is. Cancel culture is like advertising that you're stupid. You know, you're pretending like you were never at a point where you were ignorant and you learned, you know, to improve yourself. Yeah. But everybody has to start somewhere. Everybody starts out ignorant.
I was dumb in the past.
Kids are stupid.
And people who say people never change, they're just... They've never changed. They've never changed. So they want to. People always tell you you can't do something because they can't see themselves doing it. So they try to put you down. You should never live life like with boundaries. You should never live life on limits. You should always be trying to achieve your dreams. Even if you don't make it, at least you tried. At least you attempted to try. Because
it's better to at least give it a shot. That's more respectable than just saying, "Oh, well, I can't do it," and then giving up before you even start. You know?
Exactly. I have this one coworker who loves gardening. He loves it. It's his passion. I tell him, "Hey, man, you should try making a channel. You should make a YouTube channel of you gardening or time lapse or music in the background or something." Like,
people eat that shit up.
And I tell him, like, not even that. Like, just it's you're passionate about it. You enjoy it, and maybe one day it could be your livelihood. Sure, Like, I think I live in this mindset where, like, if you try and you try and try and you keep trying to achieve your dreams and your goals, eventually, people will take notice. Maybe eventually people will take notice. Sure.
Yeah, work hard at your craft and people will pick up on it.
Yeah, of course. And like, I don't
find something you love and stick to it.
I wouldn't want people who try to...
Oh.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, it's not recording.
Cut. Oh. No, it is. It's recording. It's just... All right.
Why did it cut off?
No, it's just because it's just the screen turned off.
I get you. I had to take a piss again, dude.
I take this. I'll just talk. 15 minutes.
Sure, that's fine. And it should be going. Wait, go back?
No, it's fine because it says the minute time right there.
Hold on.
No, it says it right there.
I know, but I want to be able to see it.
Hello.
Hold up. Yeah, boy, that is.
It's recording.
I guess. Test 1 2. Press pause.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. All right, so we're back from the piss break. Ignore that test 1 2 business.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
We're talking about
Achieving your dreams.
yes, people not achieving their dreams and bringing other people
Like-
down because of it.
Like
In
Shia
conclusion,
LaBeouf said,
fuck old people.
don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, dude.
But I really do believe that mindset. Even though,
Yeah, I mean, Shia's dope.
even though he yelled at that one guy, remember when he was like in the stoplight and he like was staring at the guy?
Oh, he didn't yell at him. He was like, "Dad, is that you?"
Did he say that?
No, he like, later video, he like just explained, I guess, I was gonna say describe, but he explained why he did that, and he was like, it was like in slam poetry, basically,
Oh.
and he was just like, I stop at the red light, I look to my right, and I see you there, sitting, waiting at the light, and I say to you, hey, Dad, is that you? I know, he's like, and I'm staring at you and I'm thinking, my life flashing before my eyes. Dad, that's really you, or something like that.
He does seem like the type who would do some poetry.
Yeah, basically he was just trying. Basically, he was saying that like he thought that was his dad or something.
No, he did not. I mean, he probably says that, but in the video, it did not look like that. He looked all pissed. Unless that's like he hates his dad or something. I don't know.
Well, apparently, like his dad abandoned him, so he thought like, oh, his dad had come back.
At a traffic light.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Fuck it.
But yeah,
I don't think I'm opening this beer
it's fine. You don't have to.
because I'm just gonna chill until I have to drive back.
What time you want to go back?
I don't know. You said I'm probably like
Like 5 more minutes.
yeah, that's fine. Like 8:20.
Not even 5 more minutes.
Yeah, it's like 8:20.
I don't even know what to talk about. I should have watched more podcasts, like first podcast.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Going in raw.
I guess my goal or my whole point of doing this all is just because like
To get money.
nah, not to get
To
money.
get a lot of money.
Nah.
To get bitches.
Nah,
No, I'm kidding.
I feel like the real goal of all this is just to talk about life, to talk about my inner thoughts, to talk about my mentality, to talk about interacting with others and how seeing other people's mindsets work and seeing how I perceive people. Because podcasts really, like, and I take great inspiration from Joe Rogan, and I feel like his podcast is always about how he what's that word, like how he sees stuff. I don't want interprets like how he interprets like life, and I agree with that, and I agree with a lot of stuff he says. I mean, who doesn't? Like,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
like it's a
when
very
it's
positive
inspirational.
mindset.
When
Yeah, it's very
inspirational. It's great.
It's very inspirational. I feel like he's. I was raised in a family where they were always working. I've never really had anyone to give me advice, to give me like life lessons. And I'm not saying Joe Rogan's my daddy or anything, but I'm just saying like I do take a lot of advice he gave to me, or gave to all his audience for I don't want to say granted, but for like I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate how talking to others, like I don't want my thoughts and the way I think to be forgotten, I guess. Sorry, I'm kind of buzzed right now. I'm kind of drinking like my 3rd beer right now.
Facts.
But I guess the goal in life right now and the mentality I'm living in is that I have to try, and if I don't try, then I'm gonna regret it. I don't want to be living like 60, or I don't want to be in my deathbed and wishing I did something that I should have done a long time ago. Why am I gonna live in life of regret?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to live life with
And I feel like it's the same thing with martial arts. Like, sure, right now, like our instructor says, like, everybody was every black belt was a white belt at some point.
Yeah. But a white belt is still above, or still knows more, I should say, not above, nobody's above anybody, but a white belt still knows more than somebody who's not taking any initiative to learn anything new at all. You know, somebody that just goes to work at their dead-end job and then goes home every day and just eats chips on their couch and watches some fucking stupid-ass toxic reality show.
Yeah, man.
You know, where people just
people
bitch at each other.
People live in a and this is like daily life. People live in the mentality where they go to work, they rush out of work, they drive really fast to get home, and they sit at their ass on the couch just to watch TV and jerk off and eat Cheetos. And I'm not gonna say
video games or something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm not guilty of that, but what I'm saying is that at least at this point in my life, I'm trying to achieve more and I'm trying to do more.
Yeah. At the end of the day, everybody likes their me time. You know, everybody likes to, you know, wind down at the end of the day, and you know, you may like to wind down by watching TV. You may like to wind down by playing video games, by
watching porn,
beating off, yeah. And that's fine. You know, anything's fine in moderation, but you know, if that just becomes your daily routine, then you know, I think me and Chris both know from firsthand experience that shit just makes you miserable.
Of course.
You know, it's just because you feel like you're just stuck. You're stuck in a loop. You know, your daily routine is just working all day. At a job you probably really don't feel passionate about. You just do it because you gotta make ends meet. And then you go home, and you know, you just.
And people get stuck in a life trap. People buy stuff or go in debt, or they buy a nice car, they buy something they can't afford, or they do stuff in payments, and they have so many payments that they wonder why they're in debt, and then they don't realize they have like 20 payments for 20 different items, and then their whole check goes towards payments, and next thing you know, you don't have
just bills.
It's just bills, and then
like living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that's literally how you live paycheck to paycheck. You're living bill to bill, and you're trying to, and all of it is for momentary. It's like
momentary satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what sucks about it? It's not really satisfaction. You know, people just do it because they get comfortable. They're not satisfied with their life. They're not satisfied for where it's at. They're not satisfied living, you know, day to day, working at this job that they, like I said, really don't care for. They don't feel passionate about, and then just coming home and doing bullshit until they fall asleep. You know, they do it because they get comfortable and they feel like, you know, this is it for their life.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
know,
It's 100%
like,
right.
Yeah, like all they have to look forward to is going home and just eating chips and beating off and watching TV at the end of the day. You know, people just get stuck in this cycle, and
or people make excuses.
They get depressed.
People make
excuses.
excuses.
They feel like they can't get anywhere else.
People always make excuses like why I'm not successful, why I'm not this, why I'm not that, why I can't lose weight, why I can't quit an addiction, why I can't do this. And the thing about that is that if you limit yourself, then you're already lost. You can't limit yourself. You always have to be trying. You always got to be achieving. Even if it's hard at first. Everything's going to be hard at first. But the person who keeps trying, keeps achieving, and keeps thriving, they become successful. That's just the sad truth of it. And if you're the guy who puts yourself down, you think negatively in yourself, how is anybody ever going to be confident in you if you can't be confident in yourself? You always got to be confident.
Yeah, you think famous people don't have their insecurities, you know? They go through the same shit everybody does. The difference is they just deal with it. They put it aside because, you know, they're grown, responsible people. You know, it's essentially what you got to do is just grow a dick and handle your business, you know?
At the same time, you can't always be saying like, well, just man up. Because sometimes people live in a sensitive bubble. They've had people put them down. They've had people tell them like, you can't.
Everybody's been there though, is the thing.
That is the truth. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like people they've had people, maybe their parents were abusive. Maybe their parents were like, you're going to be a piece of shit like I am.
I know, I'm just saying, like, the way I see it is everybody's been there. Those moments aren't what define us. Our past, our struggles, what we've been through that's not what defines us. What defines us is how we handle it, and how we push forward and how we move on from it and get past it, you know. It's like we beat it. We beat our struggles. We don't let our struggles beat us. And the people that do that, I just feel like I don't have respect for them, dude.
Well, I respect everybody. I don't believe in the mentality where, I'm not saying you do, I'm just saying I don't believe in the mentality where respect's earned. I respect everybody. Everybody should have respect. Despite looks, despite race, despite how much or how much money you got, or who like just who you are. Like, I respect you, and I'm not just, well, I do, I guess. I expect equal respect because I don't ever put anyone down because, hey, we're all human beings. Like not to sound like, you know, like, what's it called, like cheesy, but we're all like, there's only one race and it's the human race.
Yeah.
And we're like, despite skin color, despite how big you are, we're all just people, man. And in reality, like, we're all just trying to get through life, and we're all just trying to push through and push through and push through. But like I said, you gotta discipline yourself. You gotta work hard on things. You gotta always be trying to achieve your dreams, because if not, then if you ever have kids, or if you ever have someone who looks up to you, or if you ever have any instance where you feel like, sorry, I'm stuck in a tangent, but it's just like, I feel like you should always thinking about, like, I think in the mentality where, like, if I were ever to have kids, because my mom had me at a very young age, and my grandparents had to raise me, and I feel like in that mentality, if I were to have kids, I would want to be, like, in the sense where, like, I would raise them in the way where I want them to think, like, wow, my dad really did this shit. My dad was a boss. My dad really tried to achieve his dreams and do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, you want someone your kids can look up to.
But I don't want somebody who was like, I respect my grandparents. My grandparents worked hard. They worked very hard, and they did their best, and they were very passionate, and they were very kind raising me. And they raised me in the mentality where they were just like, be kind to strangers, be nice to people, spread positive energy, never be negative, never hurt people, never discriminate against people, never put people down, always be kind. Even if someone's rude to you, someone's mean to you, just ignore it. Just brush it off. It's nothing that you always have to carry on your shoulders. Just ignore it. You don't need negative energy. Surround yourself around people who care about you and who will always be around you despite, no matter what happens. Even people who hurt you, or people who you might have said something that you regret, that in reality, if you care about them, you'll always care about them. You'll never brush them aside. You'll never tell them that, like I'm saying, is like, you always gotta care about people. Like never try to put people down, because I'm not trying to make a quote. This quote is a quote that I live by, and it comes from, it sounds like so cheesy or something dumb, but like,
from Joe Rogan or something?
No, it's from Naruto. But I don't know the exact quote, but being in pain, knowing what it feels like to be in pain is why you try to be kind to others. Like, we all know what it feels like to be, when we get our feelings hurt, when we feel like we're outcasted, we feel like we don't belong. We all know how that feels. Don't make people feel that way. Always be kind to people. Always tell people that they can do it. Don't ever put people down. Always be kind. Even if someone says something really rude to you or mean to you, don't hold hatred towards them. Always try to be kind, because in reality, like we don't live in a soap opera. We're not going to be going back and forth like, oh, well, I hate this guy because he did this to me, and I hate this guy. And I always live in the mentality where love and hate is the same coin. If you hate somebody, you care about them. If you love somebody, you care about them. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't bother hating them. Yeah, you wouldn't bother hating them. So what's the point? You do care. So if you really dislike somebody, just don't surround yourself around them. Try to be positive around them. If they don't take it, then it's okay. Like, don't try to put them down, because that's just who they are. Like, some people are negative. I work with this guy who's very negative, and I try to be nice to him. I try to be kind to him, and he's not negative towards me, but he's negative towards others. Like, he's like, oh, look at this guy, look at that guy, look at this guy. He's always trying to put people down, and and I'm not trying to talk down to him about his life. His life is very, I can't explain it. Like, his life is very, I don't want to say sad, but someone at some point has hurt him, and to make him feel that way, to make him be that kind of person, to make him feel like, oh, oh, I have to put people down because that's what someone has done to me. I'm just assuming. Now, I might be wrong, but I'm assuming that someone at some point had made him feel like he doesn't matter. So he has to pretend like as if other people don't matter. That's just
like a coping mechanism.
It's a coping mechanism, and he doesn't realize it. And some people never realize it. This dude's like 60 years old, and he probably doesn't even realize it. He's like, look at this guy, look at that guy. That guy's a bitch. This and that, this and that. But it's just in reality, it's like, come on, man. Like, you shouldn't ever put people down. Anyways, Dalton, do you have to go or?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's almost 8:30, dude.
All right, guys. This is the first podcast. I hope it's okay. And
yeah, I feel it was a pretty good length too. It was like 30 minutes.
no, it's okay. We don't gotta make it too long. It's just practice. All right, first podcast.
Yeah, I feel like that went well, dude.
All right, man. And like I said, man, like.
Plus we still. Oh yeah, we can merge them together too.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, like, we just edited it. And anyways, I want this not to be for money or not for fame or anything. Really, just for fun. This is pure out of enjoyment. I enjoy conversations. I enjoy voicing my thoughts. And I enjoy hearing my friends' thoughts. But in reality, I enjoy hearing everybody's thoughts. Even some people who are negative, I enjoy hearing people.
There's gonna be those too when you upload this.
No, it's okay. And I feel like understanding how other people think is a better way to understand yourself. And that's the mentality I live in. Alright.
Signing off.
CBD.
CDP.
CDP podcast.
Yeah.
Alright.